Hey, what's happening? I'm back here in the studio to show you all another song that's great for practicing some open position chords. As we've learned in previous lessons, another term for these open position chords is a caged chords, all right? So we're gonna go over the song Angel from Montgomery today. The song was written and originally recorded by John Prine. And then Bonnie Raitt recorded her own version of this song, which is on the 1974 album Streetlights. So today we're gonna use that version of the song as a reference. However, we will be pretty much doing our own version, as you will see. If you listen to the recording, you will hear a lot of finger picking and lead electric guitar. I will not get into any of that finger picking technique today, as our goal right now is just to build a repertoire of songs that help us practice these open position chords. So as I said, instead of doing the finger picking, we will use a simple strumming pattern that'll help us maintain the rhythmic integrity of the tune. Okay, so let's play the song. In the description below, I've linked to a PDF that will give you the sheet music for what we're about to go over. And as always, I highly suggest downloading that and following along as we go. So the chords needed for this song are as follows. E, A, D, and B7. So just as a note before we continue, many people would put a capo on the 2nd fret and play essentially all of those chords transposed, right? So instead of E, A, D, and B7, we would move each of those down. So we'd play D, G, C, and A7 with the capo on the 2nd fret. If that sounds confusing to you or you're unsure of how capos work, forget about it, all right? If you like capos and you want to play it more of the way it'll sound like on the Bonnie Raitt version, try the capo on the 2nd fret and then just move each chord down a step. Okay, so instead of E, A, D, and B7, you're gonna have D, G, C, and A7. All right, but we're not gonna do it with the capo for now, all right? So in the intro of the song, we're gonna use just the E and the A chord. Now the strum pattern isn't the easiest, but if you start slow and build up your coordination, you will find you can do it in due time. All right, so here it is. If I count that, it'll sound like this. Okay, so here's the count. 1 and 2 and 4 and What did I just say? You're probably asking yourself that question. So let's break down that rhythm and remember a strum pattern is not just a pattern of up and down strums. A strum pattern also implies the rhythm of the song. And if we remember from previous lessons, as beginners and even as advanced guitar players, we want to keep our right hand moving down and up at an even pace, like a pendulum, all right? So we want to tie our right hand to a rhythmic value, either 8th notes, or in the case of Angel from Montgomery, we're gonna tie it to 16th notes. What that means is if I go 1 E and a, 2 E and a, okay, I'm down strumming on the 1 and the and up strumming on the E and the And that'll be the same for all beats in the measure. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. All right? So we're gonna keep that down, up, 1 E and a, 1 E, 2 E and a, 3 E and a thing going. All right, that's gonna be our timing mechanism. Okay, and then anytime we need to have 2 down strums in a row, or 2 up strums in a row, we're just gonna ghost the strum in between, right? So if I have 2 downs in a row, I'm going down, ghost or miss, up, and then down. So 1 E and a, 1 E and a, okay? Ghost strumming is just when I hit the strings or I strum without hitting the strings. Okay, so before we go and play the actual strum pattern for the song, I would say it's pretty important that you can just play the 16th note, steady 16th notes with the down up strum for a whole measure. So I would make sure you can do this and try to count as you play it, all right? So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay? So there's a total of 16 strums in there. In order to play the strum pattern for the song, we mentioned before how there's some ghost strums, right? So the ghost is just when we miss the strings on purpose. So we're gonna go down, ghost up, then down, up, ghost and up, and a down, then strum, up, down, ghost and up, then strum down, ghost and up, and then strum down, up. All right, so this is what that strum pattern sounds like really slow. Now we need to change chords in the middle of that strum pattern though. All right, yikes. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play down, down, up on E, and then land on an A chord with the next down strum. It'll be very helpful here to release the E chord on the last up strum before landing on the A. Okay, we've done this in pretty much all the songs up to this point that we've learned. So that'll look like this. E, down, down, up, okay? Deliberately releasing that E chord on that last up and then down on A. So now here it is a little more up to speed. So now we have 4 bars of intro of just that E and A pattern. So the next thing that happens is the verses. And lucky for us, if we have that intro down, we're gonna pretty much do the same thing in the verses, okay? So we're gonna play the same thing, except every 4th measure, we're gonna introduce the B7 chord and change the rhythm a little bit, okay? We're gonna throw in some accents to kind of just change things up. So for now, I'm just gonna play the verse, and then you can hear what it sounds like, and we'll come back and talk about it on the other side. Did you catch what I did on that B7 chord? I simply strummed down, down, ghosted a down, and then landed on E with the 4th down. So if I'm counting that, it would be 1 and rest and. So 1 and 2 and. Okay? So we went down, down on B7, then down on E on the and of B2, okay? If you want, I even did a right hand mute or a karate chop mute in between the 2 chords. So B7, switch to E, down, okay? And then we're just gonna, from that point, we're just gonna continue the second half of the strum pattern from the intro. So up, down, down, down. So B7, down, down, optional mute, down on E, down, up, down, down, down. Then what happens is we actually go back and we do all that again. So we do the verse twice. So. All right, so just 2 times through that verse. Now for the chorus. The chorus progression introduces another chord. Okay, so we have now E, D, A, and E. We're gonna play that all 3 times, and then our B7 E thing that we had from the verse. It'll be exactly the same way as we did it in the verse. Here's what the chorus is gonna sound like. right, so the strum pattern changed a little bit, eh? I just went down, 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 up. That's each chord, or if I'm counting, 1 and 2 and a, 3 and 4 and a, right? 1 and 2 and a, 3 and 4 and a. So 3 times of that strum pattern over those chords. So E, D, A, E, and then repeat it all. Okay, and then on the 4th time, we do E, D, and then the second half of that phrase is B7, E, just like the verse, okay? And that's it. So when I play this song out, I typically follow the form of intro, verse, chorus, do a solo or instrumental, and then we repeat the chorus several times at the end. And then we typically would end on just an E chord. So like that after the B7. You can even tag it a few times, which means repeating the last couple measures over and over. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna demo the whole song for you, okay? So you got an idea of what it all should sound like together. And then we'll wrap up. All right, here it is. You may have noticed that I maybe modified the strum pattern as I was playing, but that's what we want, okay? As you're playing a song, you're gonna start to feel it, and you're gonna kind of start to just internalize the rhythm and the feel of the song. You wanna let yourself kind of roll with that. You wanna just kind of adapt to that as we go, and you may end up finding yourself throwing in extra strums, taking strums away. As long as you're feeling that groove and you're following the proper rhythm, it's gonna sound good, okay? And it'll even be a little more interesting because you're varying it slightly, okay? Listeners will be like, ooh, there's something a little different happening. So that's where I'm gonna leave it today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions or want to check out some of the other videos from my CAGED chord series where we go over these chords in detail, give you some exercises, I'll post some links below in the description. But in the meantime, you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can share it with your friends, you can call your mom and tell her it's awesome, whatever you want to do, all right? But thank you so much. I'll see you later. Peace.